Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that we all have like 2 or 3 of our go-to favorite makeup products that we grab every single time we do our makeup. Like once in a while, yeah, it's fun to venture out and like try something new. Don't get me wrong, but I'm pretty sure we all have like those go-to products that no matter what, when in a doubt, we grab them, we do the damn thing, and we look flawless. So I'm gonna show you my top 3 favorite products in every category. So foundation, concealer, bronzer, setting powder. You get where I'm going. So let me just start emptying out my vanity for you. My absolute holy grail foundation is the Milani 2-in-1 Conceal and Perfect Foundation. I'm wearing this like 99.9% of the time. It never lets me down. Whether my skin is going through like a dry spell or a super oily spell, this works 10 out of 10 every single time. It literally just looks like your skin, but like 10 times better. In second place is the NYX Born to Glow Foundation. This is especially good when my skin is more on the drier side. This gives the most beautiful glowing finish you've ever seen, and it has never let me down. And third is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. Again, this is fantastic for my dry skin baddies out there. There's definitely times where I'm like extremely dry skin. Usually I'm oily, but there are definitely like some really dry skin moments, and this definitely takes care of that. If you are more of the oily skin kind of gal, like maybe don't do this, but this is definitely great for dry skin. I'm actually gonna skip backwards and talk about primers. Now, if you followed me for more than like a couple months, you'll know that I actually don't like makeup primers. I usually stick to good skincare prior to makeup, but that's not to say that there's not an occasional good primer, and I will always give credit where credit is due. Okay. So these 3 primers have actually shook me. So starting off with the One Size Beauty Secure the Sweat Primer. If you are an oily, drippy, nasty kind of gal like me, this is gonna probably be your saving grace. I live in Florida now, so it is so hot here every single day. So for whatever reason, if I need to go out and have makeup on and I need to know that I'm not gonna sweat through my makeup, this is what I'm wearing. So number 2 is also from One Size. This is the Secure the Blur Primer. So this is a blurring and pore refining primer. This also has niacinamide in it. It's really gonna help to even out any of the oil that's coming out of your skin, mattify your skin, reduce the appearance of your pores, and really just keep everything locked into place and give you that blurring effect. So in third place is more of a recent discovery. This is from Cody Cosmetics. This is their Essential Hydration Primer. I love this. This made my skin feel so hydrated and so nice prior to putting on my foundation. I used this like, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, and I was actually pretty surprised. Cody Cosmetics is definitely an underrated brand. I've used a lot of their products, and this is definitely something that I'm like, wow, maybe I'll just keep using it. Like I keep grabbing it because it's actually pretty good, and I hate to admit that to myself because again, I don't really love primers, but she a good one. Next up is concealer. In first place is my tried and true NYX Cosmetics Born to Glow Radiant Concealer. This is amazing for under eyes. I have very dry under eyes. Even when my skin is normally oily, my under eyes typically are very dry. I think most people's are, and this really just gives that nice balance of hydration and coverage, and it really makes my under eyes look very nice. Number 2 is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. This is of course like the sister product to the 2-in-1 foundation I showed you earlier. This gives you more of a medium full coverage kind of moment. Really love that, and it doesn't get cakey. I know most concealers are gonna end up getting somewhat cakey throughout the day. We have skin underneath our eyes, it moves, we make facial expressions. Wrinkles are completely normal, so don't worry about that. But this definitely doesn't show them off as much. It allows a bit more flexibility with that movement, and I really love that. And in third place is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Magic Star Concealer. I actually don't use this too often anymore just because this shade specifically is very bright. So basically what I'll do is I'll apply one of the first 2 I showed you and then apply just 1 or 2 dots of this on both eyes just to kind of give it that extra brightness. If I'm kind of feeling like I need a blinding bright moment, I'll do that. But on its own, this shade specifically is just way too bright for me. But besides the shade part of this, it's a very full coverage concealer. It's very hydrating, and I have never had an issue with it. Next up, setting powder. In first place, of course, is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder. This is in the shade Lavender. 1, it smells good. That's besides the point. But 2, it looks phenomenal. It's basically a translucent powder with a touch of lavender to it, so it's still giving you that brightening effect, but not like in a weird white brightening kind of way. It just, the purple in it just is really great, and it just, I don't know, the way it works is just phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about this. This is definitely my go-to. I love it. I would use it every single day. If I could only have one makeup product the rest of my life, it would be this girl. Now on the flip side, this is more of a traditional translucent setting powder. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This was my holy grail until I discovered the Fenty Beauty setting powder. This is definitely so good. I have 0 complaints. It's very finely milled. It just melts into my skin. It sets everything into place. It's very long lasting, and I've had 0 issues with it. Side note, both of these are fantastic for baking. At least for me they are. I have 0 issues with that. I absolutely have to bake my under eyes and smile lines or else I get creasy within like an hour and a half. So this definitely holds that off as long as it can, and I really love these. And in third place is from J Beauty. They are an amazing indie brand makeup company. You can find them on TikTok and Instagram. It's a female founded and owned company, which is super important to me. This is in the shade Baked, and this will give you a run for your money, trust me. Up next, bronzer. In first place is the Fenty Beauty bronzer. This is in the shade Into Sun. I love this. The color of it is just perfect. It's not too warm toned, because obviously bronzers are meant to be warm toned. This one just is, it's definitely warm toned, but it's like really gearing towards being more neutral. So I can get away with kind of like bronzing. So I use this as a traditional bronzer, but I also kind of like contour with it at the same time. It just has a beautiful shade. It's stunning. 10 out of 10. I love it, and I want as many of these in my collection as possible. In second place is an oldie, but still a favorite. This is from Makeup Geek Cosmetics. So I don't actually remember what this shade is called because I've actually had it so long. I actually wrote it in Sharpie. You can't really see it right there. It was in Sharpie back in the day, just so I could know what the shade name was, but it's kind of rubbed off since then. But I've used her quite a lot. She's definitely old and most definitely expired at this point. I feel like I'm just holding on to my Makeup Geek products because they're out of business, and I love Makeup Geek. And in third place is this bronzer from CXC Beauty. I know it doesn't look like I've used it a lot because I haven't used it a lot. I've used it more than a few times, and I'm just very gentle with my products. But this shade specifically is pretty dark for me, but overall it applied flawlessly. It lasted very, very long. Typically for me, powder bronzers don't last the longest amount of time. So if I really want longevity on my bronzer, I'll go in with a liquid and then set it with a powder. But this did a pretty good job. Plus CXC Beauty is an indie brand, so like support indie brands, hello. Up next, blush. In first place, this is my holy grail. This is the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Blush Palette. As you can see, Pink Moon is my most used shade. I've actually been dipping into Pink Moon and a little bit of Stargaze here at the bottom just to deepen it up a little bit, but I love this formula so much. This is absolutely hands down my favorite blush palette I've ever used. 10 out of 10, honestly 11 out of 10. Like, look how beautiful she is. It matches literally my whole background and everything. I love this. You'll love this. In second place is the rather new Blend Bunny Cosmetics Bare Cheeks Face Palette. As you can see, there are quite a few shades in here that are very, very different, very intense, but I usually stick to Baby Girl right here, and if I want to change it up a little bit, I'll mix that with a little bit of Love Me. Those are my two go-to shades. I definitely don't think I could pull off any of those other shades. Realistically, these more intense shades would look much better on a deeper skin tone. I'm kind of like Casper White, so I need to stay like up here. Hi, sisters! But all Blend Bunny products are 10 out of 10. Side note, virtually my entire face right now is Blend Bunny Cosmetics. And in third place is the overly viral TikTok famous One Size Beauty Cheek Clapper Blush Trio. This is in the shade Attention Seeker. Like, is she the moment? Absolutely. But FYI, hella pigmented. So if you're like, oh, this is gonna be a cute little blush, a cute little pink, no, it's gonna like take over your entire face. So be careful, be conservative about it and build up, or else you're gonna have to fix your makeup. Time for highlighter. In first place, of course, is the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Noctilucent Highlighter Palette. These are so beautiful. It's really hard to capture the shift on camera just because of the way my lights are, but there are 6 completely different shades in here. They're amazing. They're so super glittery, so if you want that really glittery highlight moment, you're gonna love this. In second place is the Sigma Beauty Glow Kissed Palette. The 6 shades in here really allow me to change up the overall vibe of my look. And last but not least is the Luminescence Highlighter Palette from CXC Beauty. Again, this is from an indie brand, so that's super important to me. There are 6 beautiful shades in here. Definitely options. I love that gold and the pink so much. It's setting spray time. Okay, in first place, this is from Joa Beauty. This is their Crystal Glow Refreshing Luminizer Skin Mist. I have about this much left in it. I don't know if you can like see it moving. Yeah, you can see it like right there. Yeah, there's like that much left in it because I use it so much. It's so amazing, especially if you're on camera like me or in Zoom meetings all the time. This actually has something called Crystallide in it. I had to like make sure I looked at it and said it correctly. But Crystallide, basically it just makes your skin look amazing. It makes the lights reflect on you in a way that makes you look really soft and smooth in the skin for being specifically on camera. Like this was made specifically to be on camera, so I love that so much. In second place, which is the one I actually just rated a second ago, this is a newer favorite. This is from Koki Cosmetics. This is their Mystics Matte Setting Spray. This has hyaluronic acid and biotin in it. It is supposed to be an all-day wearing kind of setting spray, and it's great for all skin types, it says. Like I said, it feels amazing, smells amazing, looks amazing, and it does an amazing job. And in third place is the Milani Make It Last Matte Setting Spray. There's multiple versions of this setting spray. I love a good matte moment, especially being in the Florida heat. I get sweaty really, really quickly. This keeps my oils at bay. I love all things Milani. This has allegedly 16 hours of wear in it. I don't wear my makeup for 16 hours, so I can't tell you if that's true or not. But it's fantastic and affordable. Okay, I'm about to like jump around a little bit, so just like bear with me. But for eyeshadow primer, I love the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eyeshadow Base. As you can see, it's basically gone. I've been like digging at scraps in this for like 2 years. I don't know why I haven't bought a new one, but It's definitely my most go-to like used product. I don't think any of that was like grammatically correct, but you get what I'm saying. In second place is my P. Louise base. I use the shade Rumor 01. Now, if you take it back like 2 to 3 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, this was like my go-to. Every video was, all right, I'm starting off by prepping my eyeshadow base with the P. Louise eyeshadow base in the shade Rumor 01. Like, I love this. I have virtually nothing left in this. But then when I discovered this one, I like tossed it. But like now it's kind of a battle between the two. Both of them are expired. I don't know why I still use them, but this is literally so good. And in third place is actually, and this is probably surprising to all of you, the Jacqueline Cosmetics First Base Eyeshadow Primer. I've used this like a couple handfuls of times and I had great results. Like it's kind of surprising to me at first because the product itself is very sheer looking, whereas like these ones are very, very opaque, but it worked like a charm and I was thoroughly impressed. Okay, for brows, I would love to give you 3 of them because that's the whole point of this video, but I literally only use this brow pencil. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz Brow Pencil. I use this in what, medium brown? Yeah, medium brown. I use this 99.9% of the time. The only time I don't is when I'm just like trying a new brow product out for like a review or something like that. But I don't have 3 options for you. I'm sorry. This is literally my go-to holy grail. I've never used a product better than this and I can't imagine that I will. So like Anastasia, if you're seeing this, like please send me a lifetime supply. Thank you, love you, bye. Let's talk mascara. So actually in first place is one that I actually recently threw away. It was time to get rid of all my mascaras. They had been open for far too long. I'm like, let's not contaminate the eyes. I literally cleaned out and threw away all of my mascaras because I literally had to. So right now I actually only have 2 mascaras that are open that I'm currently using right this very moment. And then I have a bunch that are brand new that I'm gonna like do little first impression videos on. So like, excuse me. But actually my #1 favorite mascara is the Makeup Geek Extension Effect Mascara. It does such a phenomenal job. 12 out of 10, highly recommend it. If you can get your hands on it somehow, buy it. But #2 is from Milani. This is their highly rated Lash Extensions Mascara. The wand is amazing. The formula, it's amazing. It does such a great job. It's what I have on my lashes right now. You can't really see that well because I have, you know, false lashes on, but fantastic. And in third place is more of a newer favorite. This is the Benefit Cosmetics Their Real Magnet Mascara. Again, really love it. Love the effect. Love the wand. It does a great job. And let's be real. At the end of the day, most mascaras are probably going to perform pretty well because at this point, if makeup companies have not, you know, perfected their mascara formulas to just give you optimal length and volume and just that pure, beautiful black pigment, like, come on. You know what I mean? More than anything for me, it's about the packaging, the overall aesthetic, and honestly, the uniqueness or the shape of the wand. That's what gets me. Okay, let's talk eyeliner. We're almost done, don't worry. In first place, although I hate to admit it, is the ColourPop Cream Gel Liners. These have never failed me. I have very watery eyes, so usually when I put eyeliner on, it's gone within 13 seconds. Cream or gel liners really last a long, long time for me. And fun, quick little makeup hack, if you set your eyeliner with the same, like a matching shadow, like if I did the purple and I set it with a purple eyeshadow, it lasts virtually all day. In second place is the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Eyeliners. I have every single color. So usually when I'm doing like my super colorful eyeshadow looks, I'll use like a complementing, really neon vibrant eyeliner. These do amazing. They glide on, they're very silky smooth, very creamy, and they last a very long time. Again, great for watery eyes. And actually a newer favorite is the L'Oreal Infallible Mechanical Gel Liners. Now these say they last up to 36 hours. Again, I don't know why you'd have makeup on for 36 hours, but super, super cute. Pretty much a standard traditional mechanical gel pencil. There's a little sharpener at the end and there's actually a little like smudge cap so you can take the end off and you can actually smudge liner. So if you're doing like a smoky eye, you could throw on like a navy blue, a gray, or a black underneath your lower lash line and like smudge it out all in one, and that's like hella awesome. Alrighty, on to lipstick. Okay, it's no surprise, but my #1 holy grail lipstick is actually from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, specifically in the shade Family Jewels. It's what I have on today. For me, it's just like the perfect terracotta nude. And honestly, I don't care what anyone says because people have said it in the past. I do believe it can go with every single makeup look. So if you think otherwise, goodbye. It just looks so good on me and you just ate that. In second place, this is from Gerard Cosmetics. This is their Hydra Matte Liquid Lipstick. If I'm not using the JSC one, I'm using this one 99% of the time. This specifically is in the shade Plum Crazy. Now this shade is actually a bit darker than the one I have on right now. It's definitely more like burgundy plum vibes. Love that. Again, I feel like it can go with virtually everything. I make it go with virtually everything, but again, I feel like this one is just super perfect. This is just more of an intensely saturated pigmented version of it. And in third place, these are the new Blend Bunny Cosmetics Matte Lip Creams. I believe I have 6 different shades right now, but these are so cute. They smell good, not gonna lie, and they feel amazing on the lips. There are a lot of shades to choose from that like fit me specifically. This is the shade Moody, and there's also one called Runaway. Runaway is definitely my favorite out of the 6 that I've tried. Alrighty, last but not least, eyeshadow. Okay, and if you're like, Cody, did you just show off 3 different Blend Bunny palettes? Yeah, I sure as hell did. Why? Because Blend Bunny Cosmetics palettes are superior. Like, don't even try and fight me on it because you know it's true. Dun, dun, dun. Furthermore, this brand is an indie brand, and again, it is a female-founded, owned, and ran brand, and that again is extremely important to me, so like, take all my money forever and always. Now, while there are a variety of eyeshadow palettes at this point from Blend Bunny Cosmetics, it's very difficult for me to narrow them down because I have every single one of them, I use every single one of them all the time, I gravitate towards them the absolute most, so I'm gonna show you off 3 of my like, I absolutely must have them, but just so you know, they're all phenomenal. So let's start off with Surge. So Surge has 30 different shades in it. Now, as you can see, the layout, the aesthetic, the vibe, the color story, everything is like on point, very colorful, very vibrant, very beautiful. You could see, obviously, the shimmers are a little more than loved. They're literally, it's like spewing onto my other shadows, like, so sorry. Like, I'm actually gonna clean this at some point now that I think about it, now that I see it, but they're so beautiful. And like the neons at the bottom, like really, you can't really see how intensely neon these are on camera. At least on my viewfinder I can, but in person, they're the most neon shadows you've ever seen. This is literally everything you need for like a super colorful look. In second place is the Lure eyeshadow palette. Again, the layout, the aesthetic, the color story, this is very nautical, very mermaid, very me. I love purples, I love blues, I love pinks, and obviously that's what 99% of this is. So like anything and everything I would personally need in an eyeshadow palette is literally in this, plus the complementary shimmers at the top, chef's kiss. Like if you love this type of color story, please run, don't walk to blendbunnycosmetics.com and snatch up this bad boy. And real quick, this doesn't count as an eyeshadow palette, so this is like an honorable mention. Don't tell anybody, but this is the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Trove Multi-Chrome Quad. This pairs perfectly well with the Lure eyeshadow palette. I just had to say. And last but most certainly not least is the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Sugar and Grunge eyeshadow palette. So this is definitely a newer eyeshadow palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics, but I'm just obsessed with this color story, especially with like the pops of blue right here to really offset the purples and the pinks. The whole aesthetic is just giving, honestly. Again, we have an entire row of shimmers at the bottom. They are literally so beautiful. Everything just works really well. I just think overall the entire aesthetic of this palette is so visually pleasing, so well done, so thoughtfully put together. From the font style to the colors of the font, the flowers, the placement, again, obviously the color story in of itself, just overall, this is a flawlessly executed palette and I couldn't be happier with it. Whew, that was a lot of talking and a lot of products, I'm well aware. I definitely genuinely tried my best to like get through it because I know we had a lot to talk about. But those are my personal top 3 products in basically every makeup category. I would love to know in the comments below, what are your must-have products? What are your go-tos? What are your holy grails? Do you use any of the products that I showed off? Are any of these products some of your holy grail go-to products? But that's all I have for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please make sure you sound off in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.